Marcus Chun had been a freighter captain for 11 years. 11 years of bad food, lonely nights, and dangerous jumps through space. 11 years of saving every credit he earned. He had a dream. A small piece of land back on Earth. Maybe a vineyard. Somewhere quiet where he could forget about the cold darkness between the stars. He had saved 12,000 credits. It was not much, but it was enough for his dream. Today, that dream would die. Marcus walked through the lower levels of Korath Station. This was not the clean, bright part of the station where merchants sold legal goods. This was the dark underbelly. The place where beings were bought and sold like cargo. He hated this place. The smell of fear and despair hung in the recycled air like a poison. He had not come here to buy a person. He needed a navigation computer. His old one had finally broken, and he could not afford a new one. Someone told him he might find a cheap AI unit in the black market. So here he was, walking past cages filled with beings from a dozen different worlds. The auction was already happening when he arrived. A large alien with 4 arms stood on a platform, calling out prices. Buyers raised their hands. Credits changed ownership. Lives were sold. Marcus tried not to look. He searched the stalls for computer parts. But something made him stop. Something made him turn toward the auction block. She sat alone in a corner. Not in a cage like the others. Just sitting on the cold floor, her back against the wall. She was a Velith, one of the rare species from the Drift Nebula. Marcus had only seen pictures of them before. They were supposed to glow with soft light, their skin shimmering like pearls under moonlight. This girl did not glow. Her skin was dull and gray. Her 4 eyes stared at nothing. She looked young, maybe a teenager by human standards. She looked broken. The auctioneer waved a hand toward her. Next item. Velith female. Young, but defective. He made a sound of disgust. She does not speak. Has no useful skills. Previous owner returned her twice. Starting bid is 200 credits. Nobody moved. Marcus watched the crowd. Merchants, miners, factory owners. They looked at the girl and saw nothing worth buying. She was too small for heavy labor. Too silent for service work. Too broken for anything. 100 credits. The auctioneer tried again. Come now. She can at least clean floors. Still nothing. Marcus saw the girl's fingers curl slowly against her palm. It was a small movement. The only sign that she was alive at all. The only sign that somewhere inside she was still there. Still aware. Still feeling. He thought of his sister. Maria had been sick for a long time before she died. In those final months, she had looked the same way. Empty eyes. Still body. But her hands would move sometimes. Small movements that told Marcus she was still fighting. Maria had been 15 when she died. This alien girl looked about the same age. 50 credits, the auctioneer said. His voice was bored now. Last offer. If nobody wants her, she goes to the protein vats. Marcus knew what that meant. They would kill her. Break down her body for chemicals. Sell her piece by piece. His hand moved before his brain could stop it. 12,000 credits. The auction hall went silent. Every eye turned toward him. The auctioneer's mouth hung open. I'm sorry, the alien said slowly. Did you say 12,000 credits? Marcus's voice was steady. His heart was beating so fast he thought it might break through his chest. Every credit I have. For freedom. Not ownership. I want manumission papers. The crowd began to whisper. Some laughed. Others looked at Marcus like he was insane. Maybe he was. The auctioneer recovered quickly. Credits were credits, no matter how strange the buyer. Manumission papers will cost extra. Processing fees, I will pay. And you understand this unit is defective? No refunds. No returns. She is not a unit. Marcus stepped forward. She is a person. And yes, I understand. The papers took an hour to process. Marcus signed everything. His savings account went from 12,000 credits to 47. Just like that, his vineyard dream was gone. 20 years of careful planning. A future he had imagined 1,000 times. All of it gone. When he looked at the girl, he did not feel regret. The ownership chip in her neck was deactivated. The auctioneer handed Marcus a small data chip containing her freedom documents. She is yours. Or rather, she is her own. Whatever that means. Marcus walked over to the girl. She had not moved during the whole process. Her 4 eyes were still empty, still staring at nothing. "Hey," he said softly. He knelt down so he was at her level. "My name is Marcus. You are free now. Do you understand? Nobody owns you anymore." For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, her eyes moved. They found his face. Something flickered in their depths. Not quite hope. Not quite trust. But something. "Can you walk?" She did not answer. But when Marcus offered his hand, she took it. Her fingers were thin and cold. She weighed almost nothing when he helped her stand. The crowd watched in silence as Marcus led her toward the exit. He heard their whispers. "Stupid human. Wasted his money. She will be dead in a week. Let them talk." Marcus did not care. As they walked through the station's corridors, he talked to her. He did not expect answers. He just wanted her to hear a kind voice for once. "My ship is called the Drifting Purpose. It is old and small and held together by tape and hope. But it is home. You are welcome there for as long as you want. I can drop you at any station you choose. Take you anywhere you want to go." She did not respond, but she kept walking beside him. Her hand stayed in his dot when they reached the docking bay. Marcus stopped to look at his ship. 20 years old. Rust on the hull. Engines that coughed and complained. It was not much, but it was freedom. For both of them now. "Come on," he said. "Let us go home." The girl followed him up the ramp and into the ship. Behind them, the doors closed, shutting out the noise and the cruelty of the station. In the dim light of the cargo hold, Marcus saw something strange. For just a moment, the girl's skin flickered. A faint glow, barely visible, like a candle fighting against the wind. Then it was gone. Marcus pretended not to notice. Whatever secrets she carried, they were hers to share. Or not. He had bought her freedom. That was enough. The Drifting Purpose was not a pretty ship. The walls were scratched and stained. The air recyclers made strange noises at night. Half the lights flickered, and the other half did not work at all. But it was warm, and it was safe, and it was Marcus's home. Now it was her home too. Marcus gave the girl the spare cabin. It was really just a storage closet he had cleaned out years ago. A small bed, a tiny desk, a lamp that sometimes worked. Not much, but it was private. "This is yours," he told her. "Nobody will come in without your permission. Not even me." She looked at the room. Then she looked at him. Her 4 eyes held something he could not read. Fear? Confusion? Maybe both. "I have to work," Marcus continued. "We need credits to buy fuel and food. I haul cargo between stations. It is not exciting, but it pays. You do not have to do anything. Just rest, eat, get better." She did not answer. She walked into the room and sat on the bed. Her hands folded in her lap. Her eyes went empty again. Marcus closed the door gently and walked away. The first week was hard. The girl did not speak. She barely ate. When Marcus knocked on her door with food, she did not answer. He learned to leave the meals outside. Sometimes, when he came back, the plates were empty. Other times, they were untouched. He worried about her. But he did not push. Whatever had happened to her before, she needed time. He understood that. He talked to her anyway. Through the door, across the dinner table, while he worked on the ship's engines. He told her about Earth, about the oceans and the mountains and the cities of light. He told her about his sister Maria, who loved to dance. He told her about his dream of a vineyard, the one he had given up. "I am not sad about it," he said one night, sitting outside her door with his back against the wall. "The vineyard, I mean. Well, maybe a little sad. But some things matter more than dreams." Silence from the other side. "I do not know why I did it. At the auction. Spent everything on a stranger. Maybe I am crazy." He laughed softly. "My mother always said, humans are not logical creatures. We feel first and think later." Maybe she was right. More silence. Then so quiet he almost missed it. A sound. A soft tap against the door. Just once, Marcus smiled. "Good night," he said. Another tap. That was the beginning. Days passed. The girl started to come out of her room. Just for a few minutes at first. Then longer. She drifted through the ship like a ghost, watching everything with those 4 strange eyes. She flinched whenever Marcus moved too fast. She froze when voices came through the radio. He learned to move slowly, to speak softly, to keep the music low and the lights dim. On the 5th day, his navigation computer died completely. Marcus sat in the cockpit, staring at the dark screens. Without navigation, he could not plot safe routes. He would have to fly by hand, guessing his way between stars. The odds of hitting an asteroid or flying into a star were very high. "Great," he muttered. "Just great." A soft sound behind him. He turned. She stood in the doorway. Her gray skin caught the dim light. Her 4 eyes were fixed on the dead console. "Sorry," Marcus said. "Did I wake you?" "The computer is broken. I am trying to think of a solution, but..." He shrugged. "I am not a genius. Just a cargo hauler." She walked toward him. Her steps were silent, careful. She stopped in front of the navigation console and placed her hand against it. Then she began to glow. Marcus's breath stopped in his chest. Light poured from her skin in waves. Not soft light. Not gentle. This was power. This was something ancient and vast and impossible. The light flowed into the ship's systems like water into dry earth. Screens flickered. Engines hummed. The navigation computer did not just restart. It transformed. Star charts appeared that Marcus had never seen. Calculations ran that should have taken supercomputers hours to complete. The whole ship felt different. Alive. Aware. When she finally pulled her hand away, she collapsed. Marcus caught her before she hit the floor. She weighed nothing at all. Her skin was cold, and her glow was fading fast. Hey, stay with me." He held her carefully, afraid she might break. "What was that? What did you just do?" Her eyes opened slowly. They found his face. "You." Her voice was rough, broken from months or years of not speaking. But it was the most beautiful sound Marcus had ever heard. "You did not know." "Know what?" "What I am." A tear rolled down her cheek. "You bought me without knowing. You spent everything. And you did not know." "I still do not know," Marcus said. "Tell me." She was quiet for a long moment. Then she spoke, and her words broke his heart. "My people, the Velith, we carry the resonance, a power that flows through us. We can touch machines and make them better. We can feel the pulse of engines and stars. It is rare, valuable." Her voice cracked. "Valuable enough to kill for. That is why you were enslaved. That is why I was born." She closed her eyes. "They bred my mother for it, chained her to a station's power core, used her until she burned out. Then they bred me and my sisters to replace her. Marcus felt sick. The others at the auction. They did not know? I hid it. Made myself useless. If they knew what I could do, they would have. She shuddered. Hooked me to a ship. A weapon. A factory. Used me until I was empty. Like my mother. Like my sisters. So you stayed silent. Pretended to be broken. It was the only way to survive. Marcus looked at the transformed navigation console. At the ship that now hummed with impossible life. Then he looked at the girl in his arms. This small, fragile, terrified girl who carried the power of stars inside her. What is your name? He asked. Kira. Kira. He tested the word. It felt right. Listen to me, Kira. What you just did. What you just showed me. That stays between us. Forever. Unless you choose otherwise. Her eyes widened. You would keep it secret? Even though you could sell the information for thousands of credits. I did not buy your freedom to make a profit. Marcus helped her sit up. Your power is yours. Your life is yours. That is what freedom means. Kira stared at him for a long time. Her 4 eyes searched his face for lies, for tricks, for the cruelty she had learned to expect from the universe. She found none. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you, Marcus. He smiled. Thank me by eating a full meal for once. You need your strength. For the first time since he met her, Kira smiled back. It was small and shy and uncertain. But it was real. In the darkness of space, the drifting purpose flew on. Its engines hummed with new life. Its navigation screens glowed with impossible light. And in its heart, 2 broken souls began to heal. 3 months changed everything. The drifting purpose was still old, still held together by tape and hope. But now it moved like a ship half its age. Other captains noticed. They watched Marcus's rusty freighter slide past them in hyperspace. They saw it dodge asteroids before sensors could detect them. They heard its engines sing instead of cough. What is your secret, Chun? They asked on the radio. Lucky, I guess, Marcus always answered. They did not know about Kira. Nobody did. She had changed too. Her skin glowed now. Not always, not brightly, but the dull gray was gone. She ate full meals. She slept through most nights without screaming. She smiled sometimes. Laughed, even, when Marcus told bad jokes. They fell into a routine. Marcus flew the ship and handled business. Kira took care of the systems, keeping them running better than any mechanic could. In the evenings, they sat together in the small kitchen. Marcus cooked terrible food from their limited supplies. Kira pretended to enjoy it. This is supposed to be pasta, Marcus said one night, looking at the gray mess on his plate. What is pasta? An earth food. Long, thin noodles with sauce. My mother used to make it. He'd poke the food with his fork. This is not pasta. This is a crime. Kira tasted it carefully. Her face twisted. Why do you keep cooking if you are so bad at it? Because I keep hoping I will get better. He grinned. And because you need to eat something. I could survive on nutrient packs. Nutrient packs are not living. They are just existing. Marcus pushed his plate away. My sister used to say that. Maria. She was sick for a long time, and she hated hospital food. She said life was too short for bad meals. She was right. Kira was quiet for a moment. You loved her very much. She was my best friend. Marcus stared at the table. When she died, I left Earth. Could not stay there anymore. Too many memories. So I bought this ship and started flying. Running away, I suppose, from the pain? From everything? He looked up at her. Until I found something worth stopping for. Their eyes met. Something passed between them. Not romantic. Something deeper. The bond of 2 people who understood each other's pain. who had both lost everything and somehow found each other. "I am glad you stopped," Kira said softly. "Me too." The weeks continued. Marcus taught Kira about Earth. He showed her pictures of oceans and forests. He played old music from human history and explained what it meant. She listened to everything with wonder, and her 4 eyes dot in return. She taught him about the Veleth, about the Drift Nebula where her people came from, about the resonance that flowed through them like blood. She explained how she could feel the heartbeat of engines, the pulse of reactors, the breath of life support systems. "It is like music," she said one day, her hand pressed against the wall. "Every ship has its own song. The drifting purpose. It sings of loneliness, of hope, of someone searching for home. That sounds about right. But its song is changing now." She smiled. "It sounds happier." They played chess in the evenings. Marcus had to teach her the rules. She learned fast. By the second week, she was beating him every game. "You are cheating," he accused. "I do not even know how to cheat." "Then I'm just terrible at chess." "That is possible." When nightmares came, they helped each other through them. Marcus had bad dreams about Maria, about the auction, about all the beings he could not save. Kira dreamed of chains and machines and her mother's dying scream. On the worst nights, they sat together in the cockpit, watching stars drift past in silence. "Why did you do it?" Kira asked one of those nights. The nebula outside painted the viewport in colors that had no names. "At the auction, you did not know what I was. You thought you were buying a broken, useless thing." Marcus thought about the question. He had asked himself the same thing many times. "Maybe I was tired," he said finally. "Tired of a galaxy that throws people away because they do not seem useful enough. Tired of watching beings suffer because nobody cares." That is not really an answer. No, it is not. He was quiet for a moment. "The truth is, I saw you sitting there. And I thought of Maria. And I thought of myself. And I just could not walk away. Humans are strange like that. We do things that make no sense. We love people who give us nothing. We fight battles we cannot win. We hope when there is no reason to hope. Is that weakness?" "The galaxy thinks so." Marcus smiled. "But maybe the galaxy is wrong. Maybe compassion is not weakness. Maybe it is the strongest thing there is." Kira was silent for a long time. Her skin glowed softly in the darkness. Finally, she spoke. "I was born to be a tool, a battery, a resource. My whole life, I was told I had no value except what I could give to others." She looked at him. "You were the first person who saw me as something more. The first person who thought I was worth saving just because I was alive. Everyone is worth saving. Humans believe that? Some of us do. Not enough, maybe. But some." He reached out and took her hand. "You are not a tool, Kira. You are not a battery. You are a person. A friend. Family." Her glow brightened. Warmth spread through their joined hands. "Family," she repeated. The word seemed strange on her tongue, new and unfamiliar, but she liked the sound of it. "I have never had family before. Not real family. You do now." Outside, the nebula shifted and swirled. Inside, the ship hummed its quiet song. And in the small kitchen of a battered old freighter, 2 lost souls sat together in silence. They did not need to speak. They understood each other perfectly. This was peace. This was belonging. This was home. But peace never lasts forever. Somewhere in the darkness of space, hunters were gathering. Rumors were spreading. A human ship performing impossible feats. A Veleth who was supposed to be useless. The consortium was coming, and they would take everything Marcus and Kira had built, unless someone stopped them. The attack came without warning. Marcus was eating breakfast when the alarm screamed. Red lights flashed across the cockpit. The ship shook as it dropped out of hyperspace, pulled by forces it could not resist. What is happening? Kira ran in, her skin flickering with fear. Marcus stared at the viewport. His blood went cold. 3 warships surrounded them. Massive vessels, bristling with weapons. Their hulls were painted black, marked with a symbol Marcus knew too well. A chain wrapped around a star. The consortium. They controlled the slave trade across 6 star systems. They bought and sold living beings like cargo. They had power, money, and no mercy at all. And they had found Kira. The radio crackled. A cold voice filled the cockpit. Human vessel. This is Commander Voss of the consortium fleet. You have property that belongs to us. Surrender the Velith female, and you will be allowed to leave unharmed. Resist, and you will die. Marcus looked at Kira. Her glow had disappeared completely. She was gray again, shaking, her 4 eyes wide with terror. They will take me apart, she whispered. Hook me to their ships, their weapons. Use me until there is nothing left. No, Marcus, you cannot fight 3 warships. Please, just let me go. I am not worth dying for. You are worth everything. He took her hands. They were ice cold. I am not going to let them take you. Not now, not ever. But how? We have no weapons, no shields. We are just a cargo ship. We have something better. Marcus smiled grimly. We have you. He opened a channel to the consortium fleet. This is Captain Marcus Chun of the Drifting Purpose. The person you want is a free citizen under Galactic Compact law. I have legal manumission papers. She belongs to no one. Commander Voss laughed. It was an ugly sound. The compact does not apply to resources, human. Velith resonance carriers are classified as biological equipment. Not people, not citizens, equipment. Now surrender her, or we will tear your ship apart and take her from the wreckage. Marcus closed the channel. They will kill you, Kira said. They will kill you, and they will take me anyway, and everything you sacrificed will mean nothing. Then we better not lose. Marcus pulled up the ship's controls. Kira, listen to me. I know you have been hiding. I know you have been scared. But I need you now. I need the real you. The power you have kept secret your whole life. I am not strong enough. I am not like my mother. You are not just anything. He grabbed her shoulders and looked into her 4 eyes. You are Kira. You are my family. And you are stronger than you know. I believe in you. Now believe in yourself. Tears rolled down her face. Her skin flickered. Once. Then she closed her eyes and pressed. Her palms against the ship's hull. Light exploded everywhere. It poured from Kira like water from a broken dam. It flooded every system, every wire, every piece of metal. The drifting purpose came alive in a way it never had before. Its engines roared. Its sensors sharpened. Its ancient weapon systems, barely functional an hour ago, hummed with deadly power. And Marcus felt something impossible. He felt Kira, not beside him. Inside him. In his mind. In his heart. They were connected through the ship. 2 souls becoming one. I can see everything, Kira whispered. Her voice was in his head and in the air at the same time. Every enemy ship. Every weapon. Every angle. Then show me. The consortium opened fire. Missiles streaked toward them. Energy beams sliced through space. Enough firepower to destroy a small moon. The drifting purpose danced. It moved like nothing its size should move. It spun between missiles and slid past beams. Marcus flew on instinct, but it was more than instinct. It was Kira. She saw what he saw. She knew what he needed before he knew it himself. The ship responded before either of them gave commands. They fought as one being. The old freighter's weapons fired. Not randomly. Not desperately. Each shot was perfect. Each beam hit exactly where it needed to. One enemy ship lost its engines. Another lost its weapons. The third tried to run, but the drifting purpose was faster now. So much faster. They are calling for help, Kira said. More ships are coming. We cannot win against a full fleet. We do not need to win. We just need to survive long enough to escape. Marcus pushed the ship harder. Kira pushed with him. Together, they calculated a hyperspace jump. Together, they found a path through the chaos. Behind them, the consortium ships regrouped. Commander Voss screamed orders over the radio. Weapons locked onto the drifting purpose. Now, Marcus said. Now, Kira agreed. The ship jumped. Reality twisted. Stars stretched into lines. The enemy fire passed through empty space, where they had been moments before. Then they were gone. When the drifting purpose dropped back into normal space, they were alone. No enemies. No pursuit. Just stars and silence. Kira collapsed into Marcus's arms. Her glow faded to a gentle pulse. She was exhausted, barely conscious, but she was smiling. We did it, she breathed. We actually did it. You did it. Marcus held her carefully, afraid she might break. I just pushed buttons. You believed in me. That was everything. They sat together on the cockpit floor, too tired to move. The ship hummed around them, still alive with Kira's power. Outside, distant stars watched in silence. They will come back, Kira said. The consortium. They will never stop hunting me now. They know what I can do. Let them come. Marcus stroked her hair. It was soft and strange and glowing faintly. We beat them once. We can beat them again. You cannot fight the whole galaxy for me. Watch me. She laughed weakly. Humans are insane. Yes, but it is a good kind of insane. He smiled down at her. The kind that never gives up. The kind that fights for family no matter what. Kira closed her eyes. Her breathing slowed. She was falling asleep, safe in his arms. Marcus looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the consortium was planning its next move. Somewhere out there, more battles waited. More enemies. More danger. But for now, there was peace. For now. There was hope. And Marcus Chun, the man who had given up everything for a girl nobody wanted, was ready to give up, even more, because some things were worth fighting for. Some people were worth dying for, and Kira was worth everything. The story spread like fire across the galaxy. A human freighter captain. An old ship held together by tape. A girl everyone thought was worthless. Together, they had fought the consortium and won. It was impossible. It was madness. It was exactly the kind of story that gave people hope. Within weeks, messages started arriving at the drifting purpose. Some were threats from the consortium and its allies. But most were something else entirely. Questions, requests, pleas. We heard what you did. We want to help. I have a ship. Not much, but it flies. Where do I sign up? They said you buy broken people and make them whole. Is that true? Marcus did not know how to answer. He was just a cargo hauler. He had no plan to start a revolution, but Kira did. They are coming whether you want them or not, she said one evening, looking at the hundreds of messages on the screen. People who feel abandoned, forgotten, thrown away. They heard about us and they think maybe someone finally cares. I cannot save everyone, Kira. You do not have to save everyone. You just have to show them they can save themselves. She took his hand. That is what you did for me. You did not fix me. You gave me the chance to fix myself. We can do that for others. So they did. The first ship arrived a week later. An old military vessel piloted by a one-on Nexus mechanic named Tor. The consortium had discarded him after an accident took his arm. They said he was useless now. But Tora could repair any engine ever built, faster and better than anyone with 2 arms. Then came a blind Karethi named Vesk. His people had sold him because they valued sight above all else. But Vesk's other senses were so sharp that he could navigate through asteroid fields by sound alone. Then an elderly human woman named Dr. Sarah Okonkwo. Earth's governments had forced her into retirement because of her age. But her brain held knowledge of dead languages that turned out to be the key to ancient alien computer systems. One by one, the galaxy's discarded souls found their way to Marcus Chun. What are we supposed to do with all of them? Marcus asked Kira as their fleet grew from 5 ships to 15, then 30, then 50. What you did with me, she answered. Give them a chance to show what they really are. They called themselves the Human Alliance for the Forgotten. It was a strange name for a group that was mostly aliens, but it felt right somehow. The whole thing had started with one human's refusal to let a stranger suffer. That spirit defined everything they did. The consortium did not ignore them for long. 6 months after their first battle, Commander Voss returned. This time, he brought 200 warships. Enough firepower to destroy a planet. He broadcast his message across every channel in the sector. Human Alliance, this is your only warning. Surrender now, and your deaths will be quick. Resist, and we will hunt down every member of your pathetic fleet. Every ally, every friend, every family member. We will not stop until your rebellion is a memory. Marcus stood on the bridge of the drifting purpose. Around him, 73 ships waited for orders. Most were old and battered. Many were held together by hope and stubbornness. Their crews were the broken, the forgotten, the discarded. Beings the galaxy had decided were worthless. Against 200 consortium warships, they had no chance. Marcus opened a channel. Not to Voss, to the galaxy. This is Captain Marcus Chun of the Human Alliance for the Forgotten. We are the broken and the discarded. We are the ones you called useless. We are here to tell you something your economics and algorithms will never understand. Every thinking being has value beyond what they can produce. Every soul deserves dignity beyond their usefulness to others. And we will fight. We will die. To prove it, he closed the channel and looked at his fleet. Anyone who wants to leave, go now. No shame, no judgment. This is not your fight. Nobody moved. Then let us show them what the Forgotten can do. The battle began. It was chaos from the first moment. Consortium ships outnumbered them 3-1. Their weapons were newer, their shields stronger. Their tactics perfected over decades of conquest. But the Alliance had something the Consortium did not. Understand. They had each other. Tor's engineering. Crews kept ships flying long after they should have died. Vesk navigated through weapons fire that sensors could not track. Dr. Okonkwo cracked the consortium's encrypted communications, turning their coordination against them. And Kira burned brighter than she ever had before. Her light spread from the drifting purpose to every ship in the fleet. She connected them all, made them one. 73 vessels moved like a single organism, anticipating each other, supporting each other, fighting for each other. The battle lasted 9 hours. When it ended, the consortium fleet was shattered. Commander Voss was dead. 112 enemy ships drifted as wreckage. The rest fled, their perfect formation broken, their certainty destroyed. The Alliance had lost 27 ships. 843 beings dead. Each one a tragedy. Each one a hero. But they had one. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. The mighty consortium, undefeated for a century, brought low by a fleet of misfits. In the aftermath, Kira stood beside Marcus on the bridge of the drifting purpose. Her skin blazed with light, brighter than any Velith had shone in 1,000 years. She was crying and laughing at the same time. "You spent your life savings on me," she said. "You gave up your dream of a vineyard. You gave up everything." Marcus looked out at the surviving fleet, and the impossible family of broken things that had become something magnificent. "No," he said. "I found something better." Messages were already flooding in. More ships wanting to join. More beings ready to fight. More forgotten souls looking for hope. What happens now? Kira asked. "Now we keep going." Marcus put his arm around her shoulders. "We find more people who need us. We build something the galaxy has never seen. A place where everyone has value. Where nobody is thrown away. That sounds impossible. Humans specialize in impossible." He smiled at her. "And so do you." Kira leaned against him. Her light warmed them both. Outside, the stars stretched on forever. So many worlds. So many beings. So many forgotten souls waiting to be found. Marcus. Chun had started with nothing but 47 credits and a broken girl nobody wanted. Now he had a family. A purpose. A revolution. And he was just getting started. Far away. In the archives of an ancient civilization, a historian recorded the day's events. The entry was simple, but would be quoted for centuries to come. The galaxy measured worth in productivity. Humans measured it in something else entirely. They believed every life had value simply because it existed. This made no logical sense. But logic does not win wars. Love does. Compassion does. Stubborn, irrational hope does. That is why the consortium fell. That is why the Forgotten rose. That is why, in the end, the humans changed everything. The end.